Amongst the many conflicts of interest that Donald Trump has thus far chosen to do absolutely nothing to address, there is one financial conflict of interest that is set to literally explode, well, not literally, on day one. He will be breaking the law on the first day that he becomes president unless he does something about this. And it has to do with a hotel that Trump currently operates in Washington, D.C. on leased government property. Now, the contract between the Trump Organization and the General Services Administration, that is a government agency which is involved in this process, which owns the federal building in which the luxury hotel is housed, explicitly states that no elected U.S. official may have a say in or benefit from the lease for that property. That is the current situation, and he has that lease currently operating for one of his hotels. The deputy GSA commissioner, this is coming from lawmakers who sent a letter about this conflict of interest, say that the deputy GSA commissioner made clear that Mr. Trump must divest himself not only of managerial control, but of all ownership interest as well. And that distinction that he needs to do both makes all the sense in the world when you realize that his version of divesting managerial control literally involves giving it to his kids, who then both sit in on government meetings with him, or like his son, conduct interviews for who's going to be the next interior secretary. So that's a blind trust for you right there. It's 2020 blind, you know? Now, the letter goes on to say, if Trump refuses to do so, he would be given 30 days to address the issue, then be brought before a civilian tribunal that negotiates disputes involving federal agencies. At that point, probably nothing would happen to him, but he would be actually breaking the law. And that's not the only way that this hotel has potentially caused legal problems for him. Since Election Day, 2 foreign countries have planned events there, and a number of foreign dignitaries have booked rooms in order to curry favor with the incoming president. The RNC reportedly plans to hold its Christmas party there, and Vice President-elect Mike Pence spoke at a Heritage Foundation event at the hotel. And the cool thing about all of that is that all of the payments made to that hotel then go to Donald Trump from foreign dignitaries. And this isn't just like speculation that that's why they're choosing to stay there. Here is what one Asian diplomat told the Washington Post: "Why wouldn't I stay at his hotel blocks from the White House so I can tell the new president, I love your new hotel? Isn't it rude to come to his city and say, I am staying at your competitor?" I guess that would be rude. Not as rude as continuing to benefit financially from your position as president, and break the law in doing so, but rude.
I'm looking forward to Donald Trump coming before a civilian tribunal. So, look, I think there's an easy answer here, because this is super clear. The language is crystal clear. You cannot have anybody who's in elected office that is part of this lease. So you're not going to throw Donald Trump out of office, and you know how brazen he is. So the best case scenario is he's like, yes, I've now handed it off from my right hand to my left hand, and my left hand obviously has no conflict of interest, and so I'm running it this way. In other words, I give it to one of my sons, and he runs it, or maybe I give it to Melania, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So that doesn't really solve the problem.
No.
Okay, I have an easy answer. The minute he gets into office, he's in violation of the lease. No big deal. The lease is now invalid. That's a normal remedy in contracts. You've got a contract. That's a government property. You signed a 60-year lease, which I believe costs $180 million. Sorry, you don't have it anymore. So that's now back to government property. Anyway, good luck with your presidency. Problem solved.
Seems reasonable. Seems easy. Probably not going to happen. Now, other representatives of the GSA are saying that they are not taking a position on this. So it is theoretically possible that the Democratic lawmakers who, in allegiance with some of the members of the GSA leadership, are saying that he will automatically be in violation. Others are trying to avoid any issues with the incoming administration. And of course they are. He's going to be the guy who's signing their paychecks very soon. They don't necessarily want to make a political statement. In that later statement, though, they never say that he's not breaking the law, and they're basically saying that we're all going to be looking into it, which is literally the case.
So just, again, if you're a Trump supporter and you think the man can do no wrong, and there's no conflict of interest ever, even if it's the clearest law you've ever seen, right? Or in this case, a contract. I try to understand why this might be an issue. Open your mind for 1 second. So the president gets to now appoint the head of the General Services Administration.
Yeah.
So he could now say, oh, I have a lease that says if I'm in elected office, I can't own this piece of property because it's actually government property. Okay, General Services Administration head, you're fired. Okay, bring in a lackey. Can I do it? Even though
Louis
it's in,
Gohmert, new head of the GSA.
yeah, it's in clear violation of the written contract. Can I do it? Yes, sir. Of course you can. Okay.
They used to have that on pirate ships. They just shoot them in the head and then promote somebody.
Right. Now can I do it? Yes. Yes, you can, Mr. President. So we got to, that's why you have to avoid conflicts of interest. Remember, the president is supposed to be working for you, not for himself. Yeah. He's supposed to be your representative, looking out for your interests, not trying to figure out how he can make a buck off of you. Podcast the whole 2-hour Young Turks every single day, commercial free, All-Star Tuesdays, aggressive progressives, old school, post games, TYT classics. You get it all with membership. Do it now. tytnetwork.com/join.